Portrait of a young man with facial scarring, Africa, 1900. Tippi Hedren, actress and animal rights activist riding a lion, 1981. Johnny Depp and Kate Moss, 1994. Workmen are dismantling a clock, 1930. Fusako Shigenobu. She radicalized at the end of the decade in Japan, and she helped inspire a group that would surface in the early 70s. Later arrests turned her into a symbol of that era's extremes. A basket carrier at a London market, England, 1930. Zeppelin over the pyramids, 1931. Laura Bullion was born in October 1876 in Knickerbocker, Texas. Union boss Jimmy Hoffa, flipping off attorney Robert Kennedy during a Senate committee hearing in 1957. Winston Churchill smoking a cigar makes the V sign during a visit to Bradford December 4, 1942. Portrait artist Anna Ladd gave new faces to World War I veterans, Ladd at Work. Kurt Cobain and Friends and Dresses, 1992. Ceremony of the enthronement of Emperor Showa Hirohito in Shishinden Hall, 1928. Police teach children how to ride bicycles safely, New York City, 1954. Six Friends at Helsinki Railway Station, 1978 and 2025, photos by Stefan Bremer. Joe Tejada in 1958, later known as Raquel Welch, before she was reconstructed by Hollywood. Testing a new fireproof building material, New Haven, 1949. Mother and Son, 1940s. Ford executives select colours for 1953 cars from 76 scale models. Popular men's hairstyles 1965 to 1970. Alexei Leonov became the first person in history to walk in outer space in 1965. Goats in a Harness in National Park, New York, 1904. Women of New York and adjacent cities marched down Fifth Avenue to the rhythm of muffled drums in an international protest against war. Prohibition ends. 1933. Beer becomes legal at Belmont Grill, 464 South Main Street, downtown Los Angeles. Mrs. Jacqueline Kennedy has a chuck under the chin for her husband moments after he became president, on January 20, 1961. This picture was taken in the rotunda of the Capitol, just after President John F. Kennedy left the inaugural stand. President Eisenhower pauses for the camera as he works on a painting of his daughter-in-law Barbara and grandchildren David, Anne and Susan, 1954. Early morning light original colour photo taken by Inami Nobukuni in 1910. Drew Barrymore with Mr. T at the People's Choice Awards 1983. Miss Mamie Francis and a horse named Napoleon. '60s kids with their DIY costumes were inventive for sure. Metallica's Jason Newsted and Kirk Hammett visit the Red Hot Chili Peppers on September 16, 1989 at the Fillmore in San Francisco, California, United States. An alert wearing clothing made from sea lion guts, Alaska, 1900. Confession during the traditional Catholic pilgrimage from Paris to Chartres, 1953. Children refuel during a stroller race, Berlin, Germany, 1931. Audrey Hepburn went on more than 50 UNICEF charity missions to famine-stricken African countries. A Dutch beekeeper, 1956, uses a special protective mask with a hole for a tube. February 9, 1985, Washington, United States. Ronald Reagan and Saudi King Fahd are in good spirits. Berlin shortly after the surrender, Germany, 1945. Orson Welles told reporters he did not intend a panic with the previous night's radio adaptation of War of the Worlds. Listeners purportedly thought it a genuine news report of alien invasion. 1938. A protest against racial segregation in Louisville, Kentucky, March 11, 1961. Kitty Canut, World Champion Horseman at Winnemucca, 1919. Deep Purple on the Steps of Their Plane, 1974. Removal of streetcar tracks on 3rd Avenue, Seattle, 1943. The only photograph of Chief Seattle after whom the city of Seattle was named, 1865. Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder. Andrei Chikatilo meditates in his cell, 1993. John and Julianne Lennon. BTS pick of the sitcom Friends, 1990s. A British soldier using a bow and arrow to deliver a message from the trenches, 1915. Rodeo in California, 1934. Halloween shoot in 1950s. Women crouch in a muddy canal as they take cover from intense Viet Cong fire at Bao Tri, about 20 miles west of Saigon on January 1st, 1966. A massive tornado and lightning storm struck Miami Beach on June 15, 1985. Coronation of Nicholas II, Moscow, 1896. Pearl Jam frontman Eddie Vedder hangs from the rafters during a 1992 concert. The T-800 model on the set of the film The Terminator 1984. Illinois flood, March 25, 1927. Easter Bunnies, 1929. Miriam Stecker, a survivor of the Auschwitz concentration camp, showed her prisoner number in reaction to news of the arrest of Adolf Eichmann, the Nazi SS colonel, one of chief architects of the Holocaust, May 1960. Cuban Revolution leader Fidel Castro's visit to the USSR. Bolshoi Theatre, 1963. the Arctic 100 3 years ago and now. The Detroit Woolworth sit-down strike, 1937. President Richard M. Nixon speaks to the crew and passengers on United Airlines Flight 55 from Washington to Los Angeles on December 26, 1973. Tornado damage in Louisville, Kentucky, April 4, 1974. Gwendolyn Brooks was the first Black American to win a Pulitzer Prize in 1950. She wrote poetry. Marilyn Jerian Dean in February 1953 when she was a guest on the Martin and Lewis radio show. (1870) Chinese wedding palanquin symbolized the bride's transition from one world to another. The Cuyahoga River Fire in Ohio, United States. Various debris, including old refrigerators and televisions, floated on the river's surface, and this mixture was coated in a thick layer of petroleum products. One day, a stray spark ignited the river in 1969. American Music Center, 1954. Ball car, 1970s. (1996) Firefighters at the scene of an IRA bomb blast in Manchester city centre. A Bosnian security guard armed with a Zastava M70 assault rifle escorted a bride and groom at a wedding in Sarajevo during the Bosnian War and the breakup of Yugoslavia, circa 1993. A Berlin wall guard passes a flower across a crack in the wall on the day it was torn down, 1989. Leonardo DiCaprio with a Crown of Thorns, 1995. Belgian-Flemish dog cart, circa 1880. Athletic Exercises, Camp of Exercise, Delhi, 1886. A photo of Raymond de la Roche, who became the world's first licensed female pilot on March 8, 1910. Disabled veterans of the First World War, London Military Hospital, 1918, 1 leg for every 7 soldiers. Monica Bellucci, 1990s. Parents and teachers hold a meeting outside because a group of pro-segregationists led by Manning Gash had taken over the meeting room Annandale High School, Fairfax, Virginia, 30 of April 1954. King Michael I of Romania, 1942. A young Salvador Dali with his wife Elena Diakonova. Water skiing inventor Ralph Samuelson in the 1920s. A Native American woman works inside her tribe's camp near Tulare Lake, California, circa 1900. Elizabeth Hurley, 1990s. A pair of night riders in disguise during the Black Patch Tobacco Wars in southwestern Kentucky and northwestern Tennessee. Freddie Mercury and Annie Lennox in 1987. This photograph was published in Vogue magazine in 1969. It shows Soviet model Galina Milovskaya posing in front of the Vostok rocket at VDNKH. Directors of the Union Pacific Railroad on the 100th meridian, approximately 250 miles west of Omaha. A navigation simulator on the roof of the Royal College of Science and Technology, Glasgow, 1913. The first Moskvich Salyut model was assembled in 1950. The car had a unique design, something never seen before in the USSR. Passengers enjoy drinks and play cards on an Imperial Airways flight in the United States in 1936. Puffy the Cat, credited with putting over 300 people into a hypnotic trance with her huge, unblinking eyes. 1944. Bucharest, Romania, the overthrow of the Ceausescu regime. December 20th, 1989. A truck full of Hitler and Mussolini supporters in Libya in March 1943. Construction worker playing a bagpipe in an unfinished building, 1957. Moscow Conservatory professor P. Ilchenko plays for soldiers on the Southern Front United States SR 1942. Nippon Life Stadium with Osaka Castle in the background, 1960. A mother with a chainsaw in her hands and a child on her back, early 1980s. Supermodel and iconic figure of the 60s and 70s, Vera Gottliebe Anna von Leendorf. Teenage boys decide who will bat first by playing the hand-over-hand game with a baseball bat in Des Moines, Iowa, 1945. Each takes turns gripping the bat higher until one reaches the top. Miss America finalists in 1969. Transporting a house to its installation site, Finland, 1968. Arnie and Grace Jones. In 1967, Steven Tyler was arrested in New York. Fathers driving their children to school in the rain, Paris, 1920. Elvis Presley waits for bacon and eggs while a black woman waits for her sandwich. Circle swing at Luna Park, Coney Island, New York, around 19 Ramvai. Parisian women rip a Christian Dior dress from a model, 1947. The excessive use of fabrics in Christian Dior's creations was considered by many to be excessive at a time when France was struggling with the aftermath of war. A family tries to escape a flood in Columbus, Ohio, 1913. Celebration in the province of Córdoba for the fall of Juan Domingo Perón, 1955. Princess Diana with her sons in the park, April 13, 1993, Thorpe, England. On the icebreaker Arctica, 1975. Philip Garner's roller skates, 1962. Gary Oldman. Football fans brawl at the 1975 European Cup final. First border post after United States-Mexico War, 1848. Elvis Presley fans witnessing him on stage during the mid-1950s. In 1889, a settler in Guthrie, Oklahoma, searches for land to build a home. Sharon Stone and Ellen Barkin tease 19-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio at the Vanity Fair Oscars party in '94. A macaque named Zabiaka in the Bian-9 spacecraft Space 2044, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics 1989. St Pancras Station in central London after the Blitz.